So now we're going to look at selection sort. And once again, we'll start with an array that looks like this. But with selection sort, there's something different we have to do here. We have to keep track of the indexes. So I'm going to bring up indexes for each of these. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with this first item. And we're going to have a variable called min for minimum. And we're going to store the index of that first item. Then we're going to start comparing that item to everything else in the array. So we'll go to the next item here. 2 is smaller than 4, so we want to store the index of 1 in min. Then we move to the 6. That one's not lower, so we'll skip that and that. And then we move to the 1. Now that one is lower than the item that is stored in min. So we'll store the index of 4 in there. And we move to the end, and that one's not lower. So once we've moved to the end of that loop, we're going to take that minimum and that first item, and we're going to switch them. And when we do, the item at the index of 0 after the switch is sorted. So I'll color that green. Then we start with the next item in the array, set min equal to that, and do the same thing and compare it to everything else. And you can see that 2 is the lowest number remaining, so we'll loop through this, and we're not going to change that min item at all. And now that item at the index of 1, we know that is in the correct place, so I will color that green because it is sorted. Then we're going to start with the 6 and store that index in min. And I'm going to move that variable over to the left like this, since all of the large items are going to start being moved over to the right. So we compare it to the 5, that's lower, so we'll store 3 in there. And the 4 is lower, so we'll store the index of 4 in there. And now the 3 is lower, and we'll store the index of 5 in there. So the smallest number was at the index of 5. We switched these, and now we have the third one in there. And these last few will go pretty quick here. So the next item is at the index of 3. We compare it to the 4. That one's lower. That last one isn't. So we take these two and switch them. And now we look at the 5, store that in min. The next item is not smaller, so we know that these last two are sorted. And I'll color those green, and we have a completely sorted array. So I'm going to mix these up back like this. And this is where we'll start in the next video when we'll code selection sort.